Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is the place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source.
Who doesn't love heading out on the boat with a family, hitting the ATV trails with friends, or blazing new stretches of highway with riding buddies? Your toys are your ticket to outdoor fun. At the McDonald Allstate Agency, we get to know you and help make sure you have all the right coverages. Plus, when you bundle your coverage for your car and your home with your boat, motorcycle, RV, or more, you can save up to 30%. So call the McDonald Allstate Agency today at 622-2333 or stop by one of our 2 Ocala locations at Calla Hills or the Jasmine Square Plaza.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
WWWOCA,
Your source for the #1 sports weekends. Fox Sports, only 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
All right, 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Nice looking Thursday morning, 73 degrees. The forecast looks pretty good. There's a 60% chance we'll see rain, but that's not unusual. And that is pretty much the way it's going to be all the way through Monday. Now, Tuesday is the day that, if the forecasters are correct, that's the day we might be feeling the effects of Hurricane Erica, and the meteorologists are saying it will be a hurricane by Tuesday. Today, I guess, is the day that the folks in Puerto Rico may be feeling it. But anyway, our friends at the National Hurricane Center and, all the agencies that get this information to us, they're all basically saying the same thing, that Tuesday, Erica is expected to be knocking on our door on the east coast of Florida. Whether it'll be up here, whether it'll get inland, whether it'll stay out and sea, or in fact, it might even cross the state and end up in the Gulf of Mexico and then head up toward the other Gulf states like Louisiana. Although that's not the likely model. The likely model is that it will come directly our way. The good news is that they expect it to be a weaker storm, but still, a hurricane is a hurricane. A hurricane is a hurricane. A weak hurricane is still a hurricane, right?
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so we'll keep an eye on that. And Tuesday doesn't seem that far away now, does it?
No, it's.
I think it's speeded up or something, because it seemed like yesterday they were saying 10 days out, and now it's Tuesday.
Well, it's gaining strength.
So.
I don't think there's a landmass in its path right yet.
Well, Puerto Rico is. Puerto Rico is.
Yeah, but.
What's so small? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll keep an eye on it. They are forecasting Erica to become a hurricane. It's not a hurricane yet. The Office of the Chief Financial Officer, Jeff Atwater, is advising Floridians to be prepared. And I'm just kind of being redundant there. But anyway, you get the idea. All right, and before we talk about that horrible story yesterday and the things people are saying after that, let's see, what else do I have real quickly?
It just boggles my mind. People don't value life. They don't treasure it. They don't look at it as a gift. They just want to destroy it.
We got there. Let's just go straight there, since you did that. Okay, let's just go straight there. All the other stories can wait. All right, so this is obviously the story of yesterday, and I guess a psychologist would have to explain to me why certain killings have resonate with all of us and others we don't even hear about. In this case, maybe the reason is because it was a camera. We all know our on-air personalities. We don't know them, but we feel like we know them. We all know somebody who is young and just starting their career, and that's the case for both of these two. And so maybe that's why it has hit a nerve with all of us. Let me just read to you some of the headlines real quickly from some of the different news agencies. CNN has a headline: Walmart to stop selling AR-15s and similar guns. Forbes, 18 hours ago, issued a news story that says more young Americans now die from guns than cars. 18 hours ago, the Daily Caller has a headline: Journalists waste no time blaming guns and NRA for Virginia violence.
Jeez.
The Week magazine has a headline: "The Conservative Case for Reforming America's Sick Gun Controls." 19 hours ago, Forbes magazine issued a news article titled, "Why Exactly Are We Taxing Guns?" And then the Huffington Post, 16 hours ago, has a story with the headline, "White House Calls on Congress Again to Do Something," to take action on gun control, in other words. So that is the dialogue that is happening today. The father of the young lady who died in the shooting yesterday, Allison Parker is her name. He was on the news and he was saying we've got to do something about crazy people getting guns. The colleagues, families, and loved ones of Allison Parker and Adam Ward, the two WDBJ employees shot and killed on live TV yesterday, have been publicly mourning and talking about how wonderful the two of them were. Parker's father released a statement earlier saying their family's unbearable grief and how Allison's life was cruelly extinguished by yet another crazy person with a gun. Andy Parker appeared on Fox News last night along with Chris Hurst, the man who Parker had planned to marry, to speak with Megyn Kelly about what kind of person she was. Andy Parker must have been the father of the young man, right?
Of the girl of Allison.
I'm sorry. I lost track right there. Okay. So anyway, so at one point, Parker wanted to make it clear that he has some strong views about actually doing something, telling Kelly, we've got to do something about crazy people getting guns. He lamented how in a week from now, the news will completely move on and everybody's going to forget. That's absolutely true. He's absolutely right.
Yeah.
But Parker said he spoke with Governor Terry McAuliffe, a gun control advocate, and he told McAuliffe about shaming legislators into doing something about closing loopholes in background checks. So I want to know what you all think. I'll tell you what Rush Limbaugh thinks, but the phone line is open. This is a great opportunity. If you want to be on the air, I am not going to cut you short, except if you call at 19 minutes from now.
Yes.
But right now you got a good 19 minutes. If you want to get on the pulpit and say something, I won't interfere. Whether you think I agree with you or not, I'm okay with either opinion. But I want to hear what you have to say. And if you don't already know the number, it's 622-9622. Interrupt me. I will answer the phone as soon as I see it ring, and I'm looking right at the screen. Well, as soon as I see it ringing. It's an old term, isn't it?
Yeah.
But as soon as I see that somebody is calling in, and I see a few right now. Okay, I'm going to take you.
Topic.
I'm going to take you one at a time. Yeah, please stick with this topic. I want to know, and I'm okay if you you know what? I have an opinion about this. I don't think guns should be illegal, but I do see what this guy is saying. I understand what he's saying, and I don't disagree with what the father of the young lady is saying. Good morning. You are on the air.
Good morning. I don't think it's the guns, it's the people behind the guns. This gentleman who, I don't want to call him a gentleman, this person that shot these two people, he knew what he was doing. He wanted to make the biggest impact. He did it while they were on the air. He planned it. I see a lot of people throughout my life who have been gun owners and responsible people. But there's certain guns I don't agree with. And, you don't need a gun that can put out 100 rounds in a couple seconds and you can do mass murder. Deer hunters, or to protect your family is one thing, but the other one just, causes power, or you want, and violence. These are, I don't know what you call them because I'm not a gun person, but, the ones that have multiple rounds and, you put a big magazine in there and almost like a Gatling gun in a smaller form. I think those can be more controlled. But, to take a right away from somebody who goes deer hunts or whatever kind of hunting or the right to protect your family is another matter. But I don't think it's the guns. I think it's the people behind them. This guy had mental illness. He had problems throughout his career working with people and getting along. And so until you can solve those problems, it's not going to be the guns. But they'll find another means to hurt.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
It's hard to disagree with that. I have the phone line is open if you want to call. I'm going to do with everybody, as I just did with Linda. I'm going to try not to interject anything. Just let you speak. You have a radio show right now if you want it, 622-9622. My 2 cents before I go to the next call is simple, that well, actually, my 2 cents is a question. I mean, do you think something about our society has caused this? Do you think the video games, I'm not saying I believe that they have. I'm just wondering if you think it. Good morning. What do you think should be done? Or what are you thinking?
Yes, good morning. You're right, video games, and I personally feel it's Hollywood. You can't go to a movie nowadays without violence and sex. I don't go to the movies anymore because I'm sick and tired of it. These young people sit in these theaters and they watch all this stuff, shooting and everything else like that. And they get this goofy idea in the back of their head that, if it's on Hollywood, why can't I do it someday if I don't feel right about something? And I really feel that has a very strong influence in our society, all the violence and stuff on our television, and especially in the Hollywood movie field.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. I also wonder. I wonder if. Let's go to the break. The phone line is open. If you want to call in, go ahead and call in. I'll take you one at a time, and I'll let you speak until we run out of time. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be mostly cloudy today with a couple of showers and heavy thunderstorms in the area. Watch for flash flooding. The high today 85 to 89. A shower and thunderstorm early tonight. Lingering clouds later tonight, though 70 to 74. Tomorrow, times of clouds and sun with a couple of thunderstorms around, especially in the afternoon. High 87 to 91. Saturday, more clouds and sun with a couple of thunderstorms. High 87 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Chip, what's going on? What are you out there hitchhiking?
I heard a lot of excitement about a free ride from Ford, and they're right. This is a Ford.
Get in, let me explain.
Nice ride.
Look, first of all, Ford Free Ride is going on at Ford Lincoln of Ocala and Village Ford of Bellevue, and it means 0% financing for up to 72 months and no payments till fall.
We're already offering a 2015 F-150 XLT for an incredible $259 per month lease. And now we're offering 0% financing for up to 72 months and no payments till fall.
That's right, and there's even more unbeatable offers on America's favorite brand. Head to FordofOcala.com or MyVillageFord.com now and see how you can enjoy your free ride.
Great. You can let me on to the next leg.
Not all buyers of vehicles qualify for 0 per 72 months financing or red carpet leases. Resident restrictions apply. See dealer for complete details.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood. And when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
It's rodeo time in Ocala. The Great Ocala Shrine Rodeo stampedes back to town September 4th and 5th, 7:30 nightly. Witness America's #1 sport and the greatest show on dirt as cowboys ride to help children walk. 33 years of broncs, bulls, and babes. For tickets and information, call 352-402-8808. September 4th and 5th. Don't miss the Ocala Shrine Rodeo.
All right, 12 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We're spending the first half hour this morning talking about the events of yesterday and your thoughts on it, on your thoughts on what can be done about it. I'm trying to refrain from saying anything as long as you're on the phone. If you're on the phone, I will allow you to talk. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to interject anything while you're trying to make your point, and you've got a good 12 minutes right now. The closer we get to 8, the less time you'll have. So the only reason I will cut you off is if we're up against the clock. I promise. We've got a full 12 minutes. If you want to call, this is the time, 622-9622. I'll take them as they come in. There was a sentence yesterday for the movie shooter, the Colorado movie theater shooter, James Holmes. His sentence, 12 life terms, once for each of the people he killed, plus 3,318 years for those he wounded, basically sealing him in a prison cell for the rest of his life.
Thank God.
Now, I don't even know that that's a deterrent, because when you've got your mind set that you're going to be shooting people, as this guy did yesterday, and then your end game is to shoot yourself and kill yourself, what difference? And I'm not saying I don't like these sentences. Yes, I like these sentences like this, but there's got to be something else. Now, let me just tell you what Rush is thinking. I want you to call. I want your opinions on this, but I will keep talking until you call. So, journalists might want to consider carrying guns. That's Rush Limbaugh's thought on this. Journalists carrying guns to protect themselves on assignment. So now we're talking about teachers carrying guns, journalists carrying guns. You know, we're talking. The father of the young lady reporter was on the news, as I mentioned earlier, and he was basically saying that there's got to be a way to stop crazy people from getting guns. How do you know somebody's crazy?
Exactly.
Something I read indicated that this guy was ordered medical attention, and I guess he never went to get it. And he had a chip on his shoulder. I mean, you everything I read about him, he had a chip on his shoulder. And there was one statement that said he had a huge ego, and then they kind of brushed it off, saying, but that's not unusual for the television industry. It's true in radio, too, by the way.
Yes.
I think the exceptions... we have egos, but I think you and I are the exceptions.
Yes.
Of yesterday's incident, Rush Limbaugh said, nobody came out and said it, but you could tell by the way they were talking to each other and the fears they were expressing that they thought it might be open season on the media, and they were ready to go blame Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump for it.
Oh, gee.
I don't know if he's right about that.
Oh, no, he's not right.
He said if you take out the vocations of the people involved, if you had a couple of white people shot by a person of color, you might not even hear about it. And if you did hear about it, there would be maybe not excuses but rationale. And we would be advised that it would be worth our time to figure out why the rage was there. Why did he bring race into this?
I know. That's ridiculous.
Well, I do think that this guy had racial issues. The guy, Bryce Williams, which was not his real name. His real name is what? Something...
I can't
remember his real name. That was his on-air name. And the name sounds familiar, too. I think I may have seen him on TV in the past. He was on a TV station in Tallahassee. He had a job up there, and that in fact, that's where I got the ego remarks from.
Yeah, because...
phone line's open if you want to call and express your thoughts on this. 622-9622 is the number. Let me get you some of these other stories that are really just fresh off the thing. More young Americans now die from guns than cars is a story that was published on the Forbes magazine website. And they're trying to make a point that we need to do something about the guns. The United States is one of the greatest nations in the world, but compared to our peers, we're one of the worst when it comes to gun violence. I'm reading from the Forbes magazine article written by Dan Diamond. In America, he writes, you can be shot at an elementary school. You can be murdered at a church or a movie theater. Yes, he's absolutely right. You can even be executed on live TV, and yet there's no real expectation of gun reform. Gun-related violence and death is a real public health problem in America, researchers say. And so he goes on with some examples. He says more than 32,000 people per year are killed by guns in the United States. And that's the at the least, 32,000. Wow.
But if a person really wants to kill somebody with a gun and they don't have one, they'll go out and steal it. They'll find it. They're not going to put their, name on a checklist or anything. They're going to do that. And these people are missing that point. They're going to get the gun. The illegals will get the gun.
That's a good point. Can't argue with that.
No.
The total number of incomplete because the total number of deaths is incomplete because some gun-related deaths are left out of statistics by the Center for Disease Control. Mm-hmm. Adrienne LaFrance wrote The Atlantic earlier this year. That's partly because of privacy concerns, the mystery over some police-related shooting data, and the political consequences of taking on the gun lobby. Notably, the CDC has avoided some research into gun-related injury, and the Washington Post suggests that fear and funding shortfalls are to blame. Do you know, we had this discussion as to whether the social media played a role, at least in yesterday's, because this guy clearly wanted everybody to know what he did.
Yeah.
He clearly wanted it to be known. I guess you could say he wanted fame. Per 100,000 people, the United States has 29.7 deaths per year for every 100,000 people. Canada has only 5.1 gun-related deaths per year for every 100,000 people. Germany has only 1.7 gun-related deaths per every 100,000 people, and that's per year. And England and Wales have less than one person killed per 100,000 people per year. Mm-hmm. It's pretty amazing. We have so many, 29.7 per 100,000. All right, I promised I would stop talking if you called in, and I have a phone call coming in, so let's take that call. You got a good 5 minutes. If you want it all, it's yours. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Larry, Robin. And how many deaths take place because people do not have the wherewithal to defend themselves? I.e., the mall shooting a while back where a legally carried weapon was used by somebody to defeat somebody who wanted to mass murder people at a mall. I mean, there's millions of examples where that has taken place, but the people that put out this information are famous for only a half a truth. In my estimation, a half a truth is worse than a lie. And that's all I can say is the fact that we did away with insane asylums and places where people could be brought that were not 100% mentally there, and we virtually have no treatment for these people unless they voluntarily admit themselves for various mental problems. And that's my thought for today. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff. I can't argue with that. I mean, I understand all of that. I understand. There was a story yesterday, 2 days ago, about a 14-year-old boy who saved his family because he had a rifle, his father's rifle. He hid himself and his two siblings in the closet.
Exactly.
All right, I promised I would stop talking and let you talk, so the phone rang. Let me answer it. We've got 3 minutes. You can have the whole thing if you want. Good morning. Thank you for calling.
Thanks, Larry and Robin. It's Mark, and I just want to say it's sad. You know, really, I was watching the retired FBI agent on CNN yesterday, and he said what I felt in my heart. Basically, what Americans witnessed yesterday was workplace violence, and it shows that no workplace is really, that much safer than another when it comes to situations like that. I would agree with Robin. If somebody really wants to get a gun, they can. And the leading experts, like apparently I was watching a thing on C-SPAN, one of the high-speed colleges from the East Coast, I don't know who it was, Larry, but in any case, they're saying that most of the guns that end up in criminals' hands really start out in a lot of the gun shows. They start out legitimate or semi-legitimate, and then in transition, about three out of the 4 guns that end up in the hands of criminals are traced back to those relaxed laws. All I'm saying is, if you look at what happened in France, less than a week ago, there was 2 or 3 guys that, pulled together and didn't use guns, and actually this sounds kind of kooky, but going after somebody with a rifle is easier than going after somebody with a pistol when it comes to you not being armed. And having been a Marine and a cop, and worn guns in uniform as a U.S. Marine guarding U.S. embassies, guns don't prevent ambushes. And actually, one of the first things they show you at the police academy is you can take two people that are armed, whether they're in a uniform or not, and if one and they both aim their guns at each other. If one person has their finger in what Marines call the trigger housing group, and on the trigger, and the other one doesn't, that person wins. So basically, guns don't. And many shootouts are two people shooting each other. They actually end up, and most shootouts statistically are 3 to 5 feet away. I'm not saying that no one's saying they're coming for the guns. All we on the left, the political left, are saying we need to keep guns out of the hands of mentally ill people. And how you said earlier, Larry, how can you determine if somebody's mentally ill? Very difficult. But in any case, so however we can make that better won't hurt us, and I think it'll make us more civilized. But if you're 20, I think it's 25 or 26 years old in America, Larry, right now, or younger, the number one cause of death, unfortunately, in this most violent nation, is guns. Are not handgun guns.
All right, thank you, Mark. Mark, we're up against the clock.
All right, Larry.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. All right, thank you, everybody, for your calls. We'll take a break and be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Friends, family, and residents in the Roanoke, Virginia area still in shock after yesterday's deadly shooting of TV reporter Allison Parker and cameraman Adam Ward by former co-worker Vester Flanagan.
Flanagan's scheme began with the legal purchase of his gun 2 days after the Charleston church massacre in June. Flanagan, in a letter faxed to ABC News after yesterday's killing, said the shooting at the church after years of discrimination sent him, in his words, over the top.
Fox Radio's John Decker in Minetta, where the shooting happened. Flanagan then killed himself, another victim expected to recover. South Florida residents stocking up for the possible impact of Tropical Storm Erica.
Everything should be pretty good here in South Florida. I'm hoping that it'll go away, but just in case.
Erica, with 45-mile-per-hour winds, expected to go by Puerto Rico later today. On Wall Street, stocks are expected to open sharply higher after gains today in Asian and European markets. Fox News, we report, you decide.
There's more to Fox News Radio than meets the ear. Go behind the headlines and join the conversation on the hottest stories of the day on the Fox News Radio Facebook page. Be a part of the Fox News Radio Facebook fan community. Post comments and tell us your opinions. See behind-the-scenes photos and videos and post your reactions to the stories that matter to you. Click the like button on Facebook and connect with breaking news and features like Fox in the Fast Lane, House Call for Help, and more. Go to Facebook.com/Fox News Radio.
Weeknights, we're busting out a brand new lineup. First, market fraud, government abuse, corruption. At 5, nothing's off limits on money with Melissa Francis. Then, from bloated bank fees to consumer scams. At 6, Jerry's exposing the issues impacting your wallet. Plus, get smart market insight and trusted analysis you won't find anywhere else. At 7, Lou Dobbs is all business. And the first and last name in business, Cavuto. Shedding light on the biggest stories making headlines at 8. Only on the Fox Business Network, giving you the power to prosper.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Yes, she's coming to Ocala, and you don't want to miss this high-flying musical. The Ocala Civic Theater has done it again with the performance of Mary Poppins. Don't miss the magic live on stage at the Ocala Civic Theater. Mary Poppins, a perfect treat for the whole family. Performances from September 3rd to October 4th. For tickets, call 352-236-2274.
Whether you're building it up or knocking it down, get it done, rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now.